here.
First question is, do you think athletes that are in college should be paid for their effort?
I don't feel like they should be fully paid. I think they should be paid during the season when they're on the road. They do need money for food. In addition, sometimes they get hungry. Being a former athlete, we used to get a stipend. But you think about it through, I feel if you get a full ride, that could be upwards of $200,000, for you going to different schools. So I think you should get a stipend during the season if you're unable to get to eat like in a normal time. A lot of times after practice, when you're on the road, you're not hungry right then. And what we would get was some stipends where we could go to a restaurant and or grab something to eat afterwards. So I think there's got to be a limit to it. I do think that there's some money that should go to students, but I don't think they should be paid like a salary because you're already getting about $200,000 value in a lot of cases.
Should be paid.
Yes,
Why?
because it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
I do believe college athletes should be paid. You look at, my lens is college football since I played collegiate football for the Ohio State University. There's a national championship ring right there. So playing college ball, I understand, I recognize and realize that we bring in a lot of money for the university, right? And I know they spread that money over the course of all sports so that it's equal. However, it's really not equal to the money that we bring in because of jersey sales, ticket sales, so forth and so on. They're using our image and our likeness. Although I played and I wasn't a star, but a few of our stars, the Maurice Clarets, the Craig Krenzel, the Mike Dawsons, they would have bobbleheads of them, their jerseys, so forth and so on, and they would sell those for profit for the university. I believe that those student athletes should see some of that money.
I do not believe they should be paid. I think they get free education, which is pretty good value for what they're doing. In addition to that, they get money. If you have a need base, you get money. So you can get a Pell Grant. You can cash that Pell Grant in, and you can use that money as cost of living. You also get a cost of going to school check, which is money that goes into your pocket. So one of the things that's interesting is you hear them talk about, I can't even buy a pizza, or I can't go to the movies. That's not quite accurate because they do get money, and it's just a matter of what they do with the money as they grow. So I think it's too cumbersome. I think it's too expensive. I don't think it is something that we're going to do. So.
If you think they should get paid, how much? And should it be? Is it different between different schools and divisions of schools, or is it just?
I think it is because it kind of has to be proportionate to how much the team brings in, how much money, and Division I schools make more money, so obviously there's more money that the athlete is making. I think, it's fair. I don't know what you decide, but maybe somewhere around $100 for a couple days if you're on the road per student, in addition to the free ride with all the books and. You do get a lot of perks as an athlete. You get priority scheduling. You get, usually priority living arrangements. I do think that some money should be given for food and things like that, but I think there's got to be a limit to it, and it's got to be able to be, assessed. There's got to be a way to monitor it because some schools will just go rogue and throw so much money at players. It wouldn't be fair to keep it equitable. If some schools paying way more than others, it's got to be even. Everyone's got to do the same thing. And I think that's the most important thing. No matter what happens, it's got to be everyone's playing by the same rules.
How much? It should probably be like, I don't know, enough to pay bills and stuff per month, and we probably shouldn't differ, or it should differ by how much room and board is at the school or gas where they have to go. So
I think it should be based on like how they're selling, I guess. Like if they're selling out gyms and stuff and they're being advertised everywhere, I think they should be paid more depending on how big the school is and the division.
You know, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I think there has to be some type of structure in place. You know, that's something that will have to be ironed out. You know, I would hate to be on that committee because you want to make it fair. However, you know, naturally, if you're D1 and if you're Ohio State and if you're D2 or D3 and if you're, you know, another university, the money that football or whatever sport is going to generate will be different, right? So I guess depending on how much, you know, that school and that actual sport generation, you know, maybe that could be a determining factor.
I think they should be able to do that. I don't necessarily think they should receive that while they're in school, but if you set up a trust for them, if somebody is you know, more of a high-profile athlete, that might be something you could do where you set up a trust for them. In terms of while they're in school, it might be motivation for them to finish school as well. You can set up for that purpose. But I do think that there's some things that the NCAA does that takes advantage of the fact that they're getting labor at a very cheap discounted price, and they make a lot of money. So I think it would be fair for higher profile athletes that are being used in video games or those types of things, so jersey sales, based upon who they are, that they receive some sort of trust benefit.